All right, Shalom, everybody. Before we get started, we already facing the east. Let's give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. In Hebrew, that would be giving all praises to the Most High, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, whose true name in the Hebrew is YAHAWASHI, and the Holy Spirit, which is the MACABBEES. Double honors to the elders and apostles, along with the Holy Spirit, who taught us his truth. Honors to the brethren that's laboring, doing the work to push the gospel, risking their life and freedom to do so. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, which will be the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, the lost 12 tribes of Israel, who are the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, who sincerely return back to Yahweh and Yahawashah by hearing and believing on his word during these final moments, so that he will have mercy and judgment. So we back with another live lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashah. Now I forgot to put the title of the lesson, but it's gonna be titled Keep That Same Energy. Excuse me. Yeah, so the title for today's lesson is gonna be Keep That Same Energy. Yeah, and to finish the sentence, keep that same energy once the Lord get to working on y'all. Because the Lord about to get to work and everybody countenance gonna switch up. And when I say keep that same energy, meaning that level of pride that people walking around with, keep that same level of pride when the blackout happened, when the famine happened. Hey, when it's a purge and extermination going on out in the streets, keep that same energy. And also too, hold on. All right, because the thing is, with pride, it's something that's fueling your pride. Like a vehicle only runs when you fuel it. Like the body can only function properly and run when you fuel it. So the pride that people walking around with is something fueling their pride. For example, for a lot of people, it's how much money they got, a certain status. That's fueling or energizing your pride. It may be material wealth. It may be a woman. She look a certain way. She feel like, her looks give her an advantage over most people. So it could be her looks fueling her pride. The fact that people woke up this morning and was able to eat breakfast and able to eat lunch, probably right around this time, that's fueling their pride. The fact that people was able to drink some water, drink some juice, maybe they drinking mimosas right now, that's fueling their pride. So that's why the title of the lesson was supposed to be, keep that same energy. Because the stuff that's fueling the pride of you people ain't gonna be around for too much longer. So when the Lord take your money, take your internet, take your power, electricity, when the Lord take your material wealth, it's gonna be taken by the hand of Esau. But when the Lord pull all this stuff back through Esau, keep that same energy. Because people walking around with all this pride is really sickening. And the scriptures say, one who walk in pride sinned before man and God. And it's hateful to both. So yeah, keep that same energy when the Lord get to work. So we're gonna start in the book of Ecclesiastes. We're gonna start at chapter 3, verse 16. Excuse me. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. What's the place of judgment? Well, what's right under the sun? The earth. That wickedness was there. In the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. I said in my heart, Yahweh shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. Yeah, so there's a time and purpose for every work. Going up earlier in the verse, there's a time to heal, a time to kill, time to build up, time to destroy, a time to plant, a time to pluck up, a time to rejoice, of time to mourn. Well, we in the days when people are going to be mourning. People are not going to be healed, they're going to be killed. People are not going to be planted. Rulerships and empires are going to be plucked up. A time of tearing down and not building up. That's the time that we in, and that's the work that the Lord got on his agenda to do here in the earth. A time of destroying, rooting up, plucking up, killing. That's the time that we in. So let me read this again. And I said in my heart, Yahweh shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. So we in the works, the time of the works, where things are going to be destroyed, tore down, broken up, and the people gonna mourn. And since we're in the time of breaking up, destroying, killing, plucking up, well, people are not gonna be rejoicing no more, walking with that pride that they walking with. So that's why the title of the lesson, everybody keep that same energy when the Lord gets to work. All right, so now we're gonna jump to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 10. Excuse me. 2nd Ezra 15 to 10. Yeah, because we know the Lord about to get the work on these people. Behold, my people was led as a flock to the slaughter. His people, the Israelites. We good as dead here in America without the Lord. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Yeah, so just previously in Ecclesiastes 3 and 17, the Lord said, the place under the sun, there is a time and a purpose for every work. We know the works that the Lord is going to get active with is synonymous with destroying, plucking up, tearing down, and all that. And then how do you work? You work with your hands. So let's read verse 11 again. But I will bring them out with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and will smite Egypt with plagues as before. So the plagues that's coming to America, that's the works of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. The famine, I'm really looking forward to that now. The blackout, these natural disasters that's destroying the people and the infrastructure. What else? There's going to be a purge, riots, chaos in the streets. Iniquity and lawlessness would abound. Greater evils than we've seen up to this point will be done in the earth. So those will be the works of the Lord. And that's going to what? That's going to kill the pride of the people. Because again, there's something that's fueling your pride. You don't just wake up in a prideful spirit. Well, some people do wake up in a prideful spirit. That's because they was able to sleep comfortably in their house. They got a certain amount of money in their bank account. They was able to eat dinner last night. They know the first thing they're gonna do when they wake up is eat breakfast. So as food fuels the body and gasoline fuels the vehicle, there's something that's fueling the pride of you people. That's contributing to your pride, which fuel gives energy, whether it's a vehicle or a body. So the money, the stuff that you got, that's what's energizing or fueling your pride. So that's why people, the lesson was supposed to be titled, keep that same energy when the Lord get the work. Because the same people that got a high nose right now, they're going to be the main people bugged out, hollering and crying when the Lord get the work. Hey, like Ahmawan say, the things that make you smile can make you cry. It's like taking candy from a baby. What that baby gonna do? So again, the Lord says he will bring them out with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm. Your hand and your arm in the scriptures is known for the handiwork. So the plagues that the Lord bring into America, that's gonna be the works of the Lord. And eventually will destroy all the land thereof. So it's gonna be topped off with the nuclear destruction that's gonna wipe all of this place and wipe out all of the people. Everything that's fueling your pride, whether it's material wealth, money, bank account, credit, stocks and bonds, a certain status, reputation, all that's gonna be wiped out. And it's a challenge Everybody that's walking in pride now, I want to see them walking that same pride when ain't no food in the stores. I want to see everybody walking with their heads up. I bet not see nobody crying, nobody hollering, because I'm going to bully you. All right, so now we're going to go to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time shall dwell in the world. So yeah, great miseries are coming due to the Lord going to work on this place through the various plagues and the destruction of America. Now let's read this all the way through. For many great miseries, which are the plagues, shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. So yeah, keep that same energy when the Lord get to work. Well, that great pride, that's a sickness. and like people who got cancer, thanks to Esau science, we know the number one fuel for cancer that literally feeds and energizes your cancer is a high sugar diet. So cancer cells thrive off of sugar. and then how do you starve the cancer? You pull back the sugar. Well, pride is a sickness. There's something fueling your pride, which we already touched on. Food, material wealth, money, all the luxuries that the people got here in America, that's fueling your pride like a sickness, just as sugar fuels cancer. Well, there's a cure to cancer. It's a cure to pride. The cure to pride is great miseries. And that's the spirit, because like sugar is sweet. So people here, they got all the sweet things in life, all the first world privileges, all the luxuries. Revelation 18:8, for how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So everybody having a sweet life. So the Lord gonna pull back the sweetness. Everything gonna go from sugar to shit. Hey, so the Lord gonna fix your pride, which is a plague of the mind. And it's gonna be fixed with these great miseries. So yeah, everybody keep that same energy that they got when the Lord gets to work. The Lord working right now. Everything happens in the spirit first. All right, let me see. All right, so let's get on with the lesson. Hey, that's the spirit. That was the next part. So we actually gonna go to Revelation 18, verse 7 now. Revelation 18, verse 7. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. So for all the good things, all the sweet things that you Americans have that contributed to your pride, well, the Lord gonna give you just as much pain and sorrow, torment and suffering, anguish, misery, death. So yeah, the Lord, that's the true equalizer. And we know that movie just came out, Equalizer 3. Well, the plagues that the Lord is about to do is about to even out the playing field. Your money, your reputation, your food, it's not gonna be a factor. Oh, that's why the scriptures say in Isaiah 14, talking about the fall of Lucifer, which is Esau, the so-called white man, has thou become weak as weak. You know, with the other nations to be saying. So the Lord about to equal this place out. You're not gonna have an unfair advantage. Women got their looks and their shape. You're not about to have your looks and your shape soon enough. The Lord said, instead of beauty, this shall be burning. All right. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. Yeah. For she saith in the heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. A queen symbolizes being on top of the world, can never be knocked off the throne, can never be brought down low. Coming from Obadiah 1, probably the 3rd or 4th verse. They say, who shall bring me down to the ground? Am no widow. What's a widow? A woman without that male figure in her life. What's the male figure for America? Her military. That protective male figure. America's military is going to be decimated over there in the Valley of Jehoshaphat when World War III going to pop off. And that's another thing that contributes to the pride of the people is their military. They feel like no matter what, they protected from anything inside America or outside of America. And the scriptures say that the wives and the brides will mourn for having no bridegrooms, no men, no helpers, and how that the men are going to die in the famine and die in the wars. So America having the military, even the men inside of America, you got the law enforcement, different militia groups that people know are there to protect them. Women wrongfully using the police against a man, against a spouse, so that contributes to a certain level of pride for these women. There's gonna be no law enforcement, ain't gonna be no militia groups. The Lord gonna make a man more precious than fine gold, meaning you're not gonna see a man in the earth. It's gonna be a rare thing to see. So yeah, the Lord is gonna widowhood is gonna be a great thing through the streets of America. And that's what contribute to the misery, to the pain and suffering of the people. And it says, shall see no sorrow. So these Americans think they'll never see a rainy day. They'll never see a dark day. Hey, but America's seeing dark days right now through the spirit. Hey, this word, this truth is a dark cloud to those who walk in great pride. That's why they hear any and anything but this word that we bring. For example, we out here with posters of the nuclear destruction. And even if overall we speak of the nuclear destruction, that's the end of the day. Whatever we speak is topped off with the nuclear destruction. So it's dark days in the spirit for America right now. Well, it's gonna be literal dark days when the Lord get to working on this place. So everybody keep that same energy. Oh, and even people having opinions, having vain thoughts. They believing in their feelings and in their emotions. That comes from a sense of pride. Because people walk past this word, they say any and everything against the word out of pride. Why? Because they ate breakfast this morning. They ate lunch right now. They eating a snack in a couple hours and they eating dinner tonight. And they're gonna eat a late night snack. Well, when people ain't ate for 20 hours, ain't nobody gonna have nothing to say against this word. When the power go out, when the doors are shut in the streets, ain't nobody gonna have nothing to say against this word. Oh, when people start dropping, because everybody believes what they believe is true. So when the philosophies and the thoughts of all these people is shown to be false, what they believe in ain't saving them, ain't nobody gonna have nothing to say against his word. So yeah, everybody keep that same energy, keep that same level of pride that you're carrying right now when the Lord brings great miseries to this place. Oh, and the fact that people can go to work. Oh, that's another thing. It's gonna be another lockdown. That's gonna be a great misery of the people. The people don't know how to sit still. They don't know how to sit down, enjoy the simple things in life, like waking up, being able to breathe clearly, open your eyes, swallow food and water, able to move your body functioning properly. People don't know how to enjoy that stuff. The fact that they live in another day, good mind and health. Hey, but the Lord about to shut all this down. And another thing about people going to work, all kind of wickedness going on at work. The money that contributes to the pride, and everything else. Because your job is replenishing your bank account so you can continue walking in pride. So the Lord about to kill all that. All right, so now let me read this all the way through. Revelation 18:7. How much she hath glorified herself. Who is this she? Who is this her? America, Lady Liberty. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she's safe in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. All Americans glorify themselves. Internet, social media, a camera. You ain't got no friends in the world, but you got 10,000 followers on IG and on YouTube. In the real world, nobody want to hear you talk. Nobody don't want to hear nothing you got to say. But because you got a social media account at your fingertips. You got thousands of people that want to hear you weirdos speaking. Nobody want to hear y'all talk. That's why the blackout is going to finish that. Everybody that got to get on camera and glorify themselves and contribute to their pride, well, the Lord gonna kill that. No more OnlyFans. No more IG models. No more podcasts. Everybody got a podcast these days. Or just them talking in front of the camera, saying all kind of stupid BS. Yeah. No camera, no electricity, no internet. That's gonna be a great misery to the people. All right, so again, so much torment and sorrow, give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. That's gonna be suddenly. I think that's the blackout. The stores are already empty. You know what I'm saying? People are already on edge. People are already living, not even check to check no more. They living day to day. So that blackout is gonna be that factor that caused all this stuff to happen suddenly in one day. Stores are already empty. Hey, America is already dried up. So only thing that needs to happen, this place gotta shut down for at least a day. People gonna panic buy. People gonna go bankrupt. People gonna be broke all in one day because ain't nothing functioning. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Death, mourning, and famine. And she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. So yeah, that famine, that's gonna be a great factor. Real soon. I'm looking forward to that because, like I say, ain't nobody gonna have nothing to say. Your woman at home giving you hell because you doing this work, or even your family got something to say about you because of what we believe in, which is the truth. Well, when they missed a few meals, they ain't gonna have nothing to say. They're gonna be all ears, and we ain't gonna have nothing to say for them. We ain't gonna want to waste our time with them. Yeah, so famine is gonna be a great thing that comes to the streets of America. That's gonna contribute to the mourning. Instead of people hollering, got something to say, it's gonna be mourning. And eventually death. Then the Lord gonna top it off with the nuclear fire. All right, so yeah, we're gonna speak on the famine for a little bit. We're gonna hit the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, verse 16. Ezekiel 4, gonna start at verse 16. So why is the famine gonna be such a lovely thing? Well, people ain't gonna have nothing to say. Let me get the scripture real quick. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem. What's the staff of bread? Staff, something you lean on, your support. So pretty much, the staff of bread here in America is not gonna be broken just for Jerusalem, hey, but all the world, all the nations. Hey, this staff of food and bread and water gonna be broken throughout all the earth. And how is that gonna play out? They shall eat bread by weight and with care. They shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. So why are they gonna eat bread by weight? Because there ain't gonna be no food. The food that you may find, you're gonna have to ration it, break it up. You're not gonna just be able to get full of it right then and there. And people having to eat food, bread by weight, that's gonna be a great misery. That's gonna be the start of the Lord healing them of the plague of their mind, which is pride, because pride is a mental illness. So yeah, people will crack open a bag of chips, eat the whole bag with no thought of it. Throw it in the trash. Why? Because they got more bags of chips in the closet. There's more bags of chips at the grocery store. Well, people will crack open a bottle of water or a Coke, finish it off. Don't even be thirsty because it's more where that came from. Well, it ain't gonna be no more of that where that came from. What the Lord say, they're gonna eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water or anything else with measure. They're gonna be measuring how much they drinking because they know they're gonna need something later. With astonishment, meaning they're not gonna believe what's going on. And that's the pride of the people. When bad things are happening in America, they so quick to say, yeah, we just wait for things to get back to normal. People gonna really be in the famine. Like, yeah, the stores will be stocked soon. People gonna really in the blackout be talking about, yeah, we waiting for the power to come back on, for everything to be normal. Certain amount of time gonna pass, they gonna find out things will never be normal again. All right, they may want bread and water, that they may want bread and water and be astonished one with another and consume away for their iniquity. So yeah, the people gonna rot away because of the famine. That's how the Lord gonna cure your pride. You're gonna get to work on a certain number of people through the famine. And people eating food by measure and drink by weight, that's gonna play out a certain number of ways. So for example, we're gonna hit Revelation chapter 6. Revelation chapter 6. We're gonna start at verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. He that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. What's that balance? Oh, that represents judgment. And then that balance represents weight, the value of something. Money not gonna carry the same value. You know, the price of living and food is gonna far outweigh the wages and salary that you get. Your increase in wage and salary is not matching up to inflation, especially hyperinflation. Let's continue. And I heard a voice in the midst of the fourth beast say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. Yeah, so what? A day's pay gonna be your groceries for the week. Let me fix that. A day's pay gonna be your groceries for a day. What you make in a day is how much it's gonna cost to eat. And you gotta eat every day. So yeah, that's a contribute to people eating food by weight and drinking water, juice, or whatever by measure. See, thou hurt not the oil and the wine. So the elect, we're not gonna be hurt by this stuff. The Lord said, my servants shall eat, but the others shall pretty much starve. All right, so let's continue. So hyperinflation, that's gonna be a thing. That's gonna be a work of the Lord by his outstretched arm and his mighty hand to bring plagues, great miseries to those who walk in great pride. And that's here in America. All right, so now we're gonna go to the book of Lamentation 4, verse 8. Lamentation 4 and 8. Yeah, that famine gonna be a mighty beautiful work of the Lord. Lamentation 4 and 8. Their visage is blacker than coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. Yeah, what's your skin cleaving to your bone? You starving to death. You nothing but skin and bone. Your stomach touching your back because you ain't ate nothing. It is withered like a dried up raisin. It has become like a stick. Yeah, you know, in the school, you draw stick figures. That's how the people gonna be out here looking. And they're gonna have no pride in that day. They ain't gonna have nothing to say to me or any of the true believers out there. And they for dang sure ain't gonna have nothing to say against his word. So yeah, I wanna see everybody keep that same level of energy, that same pride that they walking with in the famine. When that skin cleaving to the bone. When your stomach touching your back, keep that same level of pride that you got. And that's what the Lord said in the next verse. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pain away, meaning rot or consume away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. So they're gonna die thinking about food. It's gonna never come to them. Let me see how far we're supposed to go. Oh, that was it. So yeah. The famine, hyperinflation, that's gonna kill the pride of the people here in America. Let's continue. Verse 10. The hands of the pitiful women have sodden. Sodden means to boil, cook, roast. So the hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. So people gonna resort to cannibalism. And the easiest ones that they're gonna be able to kill and eat is gonna be their loved ones. Specifically, the babies, young children, the sick, and the elderly. People gonna be eating them. And that's gonna contribute to killing the pride of the people. When you gotta resort to cannibalism, you gotta actually kill them, actually cut them up, cook them, then you gotta chew them, then you gotta swallow them. That's gonna break these people's minds. They ain't ready for that. All right, so all right, we're gonna go jump to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 22. Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 22. So yeah, hyperinflation gonna do a number on this place. Meaning what? Food gonna be hyper expensive. But this is how it's gonna end up. Second Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. What that means? Everything that you see up and running right now, doors open, doors are gonna be locked. Nothing gonna be open and functioning. Let's get the last part of the verse. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So yeah, hyperinflation is going to be topped off just by the stores being found empty altogether. No matter how much money you got, and people just going to wither away. Their skin going to cleave to their bones. So yeah. And it's something called comfort food, comfort eating. You sad, upset, you go get a tub of ice cream. You go get a box of chocolates. You're not gonna have no comfort food when the Lord get to work on this place. There's gonna be nothing that you can run to, nothing that nobody can turn to escape these great miseries. Prophecy gonna be all up in your face. And especially those, really everybody that come up against his word. All right, so now we're gonna jump back to the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 5. Well, let me see what's going down. Ezekiel chapter 5. Hold on. Ezekiel 5 and 12. A third part of these shall die with pestilence and with famine. So a third of the 2/3 gonna die with pestilence and famines. That's millions of people. Let's continue. And with famine shall they be consumed in the midst of thee. A third part shall fall by the sword round about thee. And I will scatter a third part into all the winds, and I will draw out a sword after them. So yeah, the sword, the famine, and the pestilence is going to be the great miseries that come to the earth in various forms. To what? To kill the pride of the people. To cause that great mourning and ultimately death. So yeah, pestilence, that's going to be a thing that also comes to the people that the people don't consider. So now we can go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 24. Ezekiel chapter 24, I believe it's verse 3. Hold on. Ezekiel 24:23. All right. And your tires shall be upon your heads. That's tires, another word for head coverings, etc. And your shoes upon your feet. You shall not mourn nor weep, but you shall pine away for your iniquities and mourn one toward another. So people are going to pine away, meaning rot away. And we already got that people are going to pine away because of the lack of food. They're going to perish, wither, rot away for the want of food, which when your skin start touching your bone, that's your body pining away, meaning your body is eating itself alive. You rotting away. So the Lord said, again, they're going to pine away. Hold on. For you should not mourn or weep, but you shall pine away for your iniquities and mourn one toward another. Well, there's more than one way that people can pine away or decay or rot away. For example, you got flesh-eating bacteria. You got flesh-eating illnesses that literally eats away at your body. So people not gonna just pine away because of the famine. They're gonna pine away because of the pestilence. CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention. They emphasize that control before prevention, meaning they're gonna be out here controlling what pestilences are released. And when you look at zombies, Walk of the Dead, hey, that's a flesh-eating illness that the zombies got that disfigure them and make them look like, you know, they decayed and rotting away. Hey, stuff like that gonna be actually released in the streets of America. So yeah, people gonna pine away for their iniquities, not because of the famine, because it's gonna be flesh-eating bacteria, flesh-eating diseases and illnesses. And there was a story, I forget the details, but a woman, she ate, it must have been some fish that was infected with something. She had to get her legs cut off. So that's a form of rotting away, is when different parts of your body become so infected that they have to be amputated. So yeah, people gonna pine away, rot away, be losing limbs, be disfigured, flesh decaying, flesh eating away at itself because of these different diseases. And that's gonna be the great miseries that contribute to the pride, to kill the pride of the people. And when these flesh-eating diseases are out here, it ain't gonna be no ER, ain't gonna be no ambulance, no hospital trips, ain't gonna be no CVS and Rite Aid. Ecclesiastes, I think the 12th chapter, said the doors are gonna be closed in the streets. And we just read 2nd Ezra 6:22. The full storehouses shall suddenly appear unsown or be found empty. So yeah, people gonna pine away because of the famine and the pestilence. Meaning what? Rotting away because of no food, they withering away, or they're gonna pine away or rot away because the Lord got a microscopic army that's devouring your flesh. Diseases and illnesses, hey, that's part of the works of the Lord. That's the lower armies. You know, that's the army of the Lord that you can't see. The Lord can weaponize any and everything, including bacteria and viruses. And that's gonna be used to kill the pride of the people. So yeah, people keep that same energy in the famine and keep that same energy when you got a flesh-eating disease that done ate away at your face. Your faces have gone now. You just flesh and bone. Keep that same energy because nobody gonna help you. All right, so now we're gonna go back to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 21. We're gonna speak on the sword a little bit. Yeah, that's why well, yeah, the sword is gonna contribute to killing the pride of the people. Because what? As dangerous as America is just a little bit safe from the law enforcement. But the Lord gonna pull that back. There's gonna be no law enforcement. It ain't gonna be no alarm systems. If you're in a gated community, those gated communities function off of electricity. So the gate's gonna be wide open. Everybody gonna be in danger. Ezekiel 21:9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus says the Lord Yahweh. Say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. You know, ultimately that sword is Esau, the so-called white man, which that was his blessing, which he was a cunning hunter. Every hunter needs a weapon. Going all the way back to Cain. Cain literally means spirit. Yeah, and Esau extended his blessing to you Americans by the Second Amendment, right to bear arms. Not everybody got a part of Esau's blessing. That's the sword. And that sword on the highest level, which is Esau's military, is being sharpened and furbished right now. And it's not going to be used against Russia. It's going to be sharpened and used against you Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians that's walking in great pride. You know, they got something to say against his word, something to say against us. They think they better than everybody else or on a certain level because of what they accumulated in this world. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. That's a source. That's a great slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Yeah, what's a glittering sword? That's some nuclear missiles. So the sword have been so polished up, they can glitter like a flaming fire as it's shooting across the sky from one end of the earth to the other. Them nuclear missiles. What's the miniature version of a nuclear missile? It's a bullet. And when you slow down, when the bullet is leaving the gun, there's a burst of fire. That's the sword glittering. You know, it's on fire when it leaves the barrel. So that's the sword glittering. And the highest level being a nuclear missile. Should we then make mirth? Should you then rejoice? Be in the house of mirth, happiness. Should you then walk in great pride, not foreseeing the danger, seeing that the sword is being sharpened? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. Verse 11, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. Yeah, so a sword or any weapon is useless on its own. A sword or a weapon has to be handled. And when you handle a weapon, you lift it up. Because a weapon just sitting there on the ground on its own is useless. And who's that weapon? That's Esau. And Esau being a sword, Esau is useless on his own. The Lord had to raise up Esau, meaning what? Lift him up. As one would pick up an axe, the Lord had to pick up or raise up Esau, that Esau may be put to use. Because Esau on his own, without the power of the Lord lifting him up, Esau is useless. Hey, and also that sword is being given and furbished that it may be handled. Esau extended his blessing, the sword, to these foreigners, to these immigrants that's coming over here to the streets of America to police the streets of America, you know, to take this place over. So the sword has been furbished and given to be handled on all levels. The Lord raised up Esau, utilizing him for the sword, and Esau is passing that on to these foreigners that's coming to America. All right, verse 11, again, he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, perfected, and it is furbished, to give it into the hand of the slayer. Who's that slayer? Esau, Edom. And these other people that's joined unto Esau, Edom. These foreigners that's coming over here and is receiving part of Esau's blessing. That sword being sharpened and furbished to be given into the hand of the slayer. Yep. And that slayer going to exterminate you Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. All right. Crying, how, son of man? For it shall be upon my people. It shall be upon all the princes of Israel. All right. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh. So yeah, people don't fear the sword right now. Women that get mad at their man, leave the house, sneak out, be gone all night, come back in the morning, hey, because there's a law enforcement in place. Or because of her beauty, a random man, a random stranger will protect her if she needs help. Somebody will feel bad and protect her because she's a woman. Well, it's gonna be no law enforcement. All these men out here gonna be hungry. They're gonna be brute beasts. They're gonna be looking for any kind of pleasure, any kind of relief they can turn to. So women, the Lord is gonna is gonna show the women that they're women, that they're what? That they're helpless, defenseless, useless when it comes to surviving on their own. And that's gonna be done by the sword. And even the half-assed men out here, these men that's soft, effeminate, ain't got no warrior spirit, ain't got no survival instincts, no killer instincts, hey, you're gonna be just as useless, helpless, and defenseless as a woman. And that's gonna be because of the sword out here in the streets, the purge, the chaos and rioting. That's gonna put to death a lot of people. So America, as dangerous as it is relatively safe because of law enforcement. It's gonna be no law enforcement, no 911 in the blackout, no Ring doorbell cameras, no alarm systems, no electronic gates keeping the people out. And then the sword gonna be all through the streets. It's being sharpened for that reason right now. All right, 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 14. 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and to them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. That's nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. What? Race wars. Meaning what? Nation against nation, nationality against nationality. You know, the racial tensions in America higher than they've ever been. All right, people shall fight against one another and swords in their hands. What's the modern day sword? They show AR-15, 9mm, etc. For this shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. But they ain't gonna care if you sloppy Joe Biden. They don't care if you Hunter Biden. They don't care if you a mayor, an elected government official, a politician, a rapper, or an athlete. Your status not gonna be regarded when the sword is sent throughout the streets of America in the blackout, in the famine. Your status is not going to be a factor in that day. Because again, they're going to be invading one another, home invasions. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Meaning the course of action they take is going to be determined by how much firepower they got. So those with the most firepower, they're going to be doing the most work in the streets. So for example, people at home that don't own a firearm, when they hear them bullets being shot off in the streets, they're gonna stay their butt in the house. They're gonna feel like they powerless, defenseless. You know, they can't go out there with people that got all this firepower. So again, the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So outside of the elect, how much firepower the people got, the more active they're gonna be. You know, it's Edomites out here with thousands of rounds of ammunition. They're gonna be real active. The people who got no firepower, no ammunition, they're gonna be out the game. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed. The men shall be afraid. So you're not gonna even be safe in your own house. The men are gonna be afraid. Let's talk about masculine, aggressive men with survival instincts. They're gonna be afraid. So how much more the women and children? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Friend, your cousins down the street, up the block, around the corner, gonna have no pity on you. If they ain't need and you got it, they coming to get it. A man shall have no pity on his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. A blade can do nothing against a brick house, but that firepower can. Shooting through the windows, shooting off the locks, shooting the doorknobs off. Hey, and this Edomites out here with grenades, rocket launchers. I'm gonna try to remember to look it up, but there was some info some years back that the government purchased like 20,000 rocket launchers to be given to American citizens. All right. But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. So people gonna get real busy with that sword, which that's gonna be the spirit on the earth for the sword to be used and handled. And that's just speaking about U.S. citizens, not to mention the invasion of UN troops. That's gonna come lock down the cities of America, which is Esau, an extension of Esau's military. Not to mention the Chinese and Russian and the great nations that's going to invade this place. And this sword, when people don't feel safe, um, hey, people be all broken up when they don't feel safe. For example, a woman that's living with a man, hey, when she don't feel safe, she uneasy. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of people who don't feel safe. So what? They're gonna be uneasy. You know, they're not gonna have that pride. They're not gonna. A woman that feel unsafe, when you're bringing out this word, she not gonna have nothing to say to you. You know, they're not gonna have nothing to say against his word when they need protection, when they scared for their life, when they scared to go to sleep at night. Oh, hey, that's gonna contribute to the people. They're gonna be scared to go to sleep because of the sword. You know, and people being sleepy, that's gonna kill your pride. So again, keep that same energy when the Lord get to work. Because the stuff that you got right now, that's fueling your pride. Because you're able to sleep, because you're able to eat, because you're able to drink, enjoy the fruits of your labor, because you got these first world privileges, all these luxuries. Yeah, the Lord gonna take all that and keep that same level of pride when the Lord get active. All right, so now we gonna jump. Oh, well, yeah. So yeah. Now we're gonna jump back to the book of Ezekiel 21. Hey, because this pride, the sword is gonna be topped off. So Ezekiel 21, 14 through 15. Thou therefore, son of man, prophesy and smite thy hands together, and let the sword be doubled the third time, and the sword of the slain. Yeah. Hey, so the sword gonna be doubled the third time. It's double, triple sharpened, and it's gonna do a great slaughter, hey, times 3. All right. Again, let the sword be doubled the third time, the sword of the slain. It is the sword of the great men that are slain, which entereth into their privy chambers. All right, so let's continue, verse 15. I have set the point of the sword against all their gates, that their heart may faint, and their ruins be multiplied. It is made bright, it is wrapped up for the slaughter. So yeah, what's that sword that's gonna be set against the gates, against the cities? That the ruins may be multiplied, that it may be made bright. That's the nuclear missiles. That's the nuclear destruction. That's gonna multiply the ruins, multiply the dead bodies. And that's gonna make their hearts faint when they hear those nuclear sirens going off. It says it is wrapped up for the slaughter. Yeah, because wrapped up in that nuclear warhead, for those who saw Oppenheimer, it's technology that does it splits atoms. Fission, that's the splitting of atoms. That's what's wrapped up in that nuclear warhead, that it may be made bright to multiply the ruins. So yeah, but the key point there, it was made bright, is gonna make the hearts of people faint. So the hearts of people fainting, there's levels to it. On the lowest level, it's gonna be the race wars here in the streets of America. The next level up, it's gonna be Esau's military. You getting tossed into these FEMA death camps. And the highest level of that will be the nuclear destruction. Because there's gonna be certain people that be amped up, full of courage, with the race wars that's going on. So everybody's heart not gonna faint because of the sword in the streets. Everybody not gonna faint when Esau's military come in like a flood. Why? If you in the military working for Esau, you're gonna be good for the time being. Everything is working for you. Hey, but that nuclear destruction, hey, everybody's heart gonna faint in that day. From the lowest level to the highest level. Yeah. So no matter your status in the military, how much firepower you got, when you hear those nuclear sirens, everybody's hearts is gonna faint. All right, so now we're gonna go to the book. We're gonna go to the book of Isaiah. Matter of fact, let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes 3 and 16 real quick. 3 and 17, I mean. That we started off with. Because remember, I said in my heart, Yahweh shall judge the righteous and the wicked. For there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. So yeah, we are approaching a time where the Lord is going to get to work with the weapons of his indignation. The sword that's made bright, that's going to multiply the rumors. So yeah, the Lord is about to do a lot of works to this place by the sword, the pestilence, and the famine. We're covering the sword right now. So now we're going to jump to the book of Isaiah 28. Isaiah 28, 21. For the Lord shall rise up in Mount Perazim. He shall be wroth as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work. So yeah, there's many works of the Lord. The sword, the pestilence, and the famine. That's going to play out. That can come in many forms. So again, the Lord shall rise up that he may do his work, his strange work. So the Lord got a strange work that's reserved for you Americans. That's the nuclear destruction. Something that people ain't never seen before. He gonna rain fire on spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah. Something people never seen before. So the Lord shall rise up that he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his acts, his strange acts. So yeah, the people have seen famines, pestilence, and the sword all throughout history. But what's coming is going to play out on the highest level that has ever been. So it's something people seen before, just not to this level, not to this magnitude. But the Lord got a work that's never been seen by the eyes of men. That's the nuclear destruction. That's that strange work. The Lord got many acts. The sword, the pestilence, and the famine. Even his ministry, that's an act. But it's been done before. Well, that strange act's going to be the nuclear destruction. Everybody pushing that button. So yeah, so like we just got, there's a time and purpose for every work. The many of the Lord's works and that strange work. It's a time for it. We're approaching that time. All right. So now we're going to go to the book of Isaiah chapter 54. Isaiah chapter 54. Verse 16, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. That's the blacksmith. All right, that bringeth forth an instrument of his work. So the Lord created the blacksmith that developed the sword and shield, the spear. Why? For the different wars. Those were works or acts of the Lord. The wars with the shield and sword. But let's continue. I have also created the waster to destroy. So these Edomites, they're not creating sword and shield no more. They're not working with hot iron, coals, blowing the fire to make sword and shield out of hot metal. Now the Edomites are sitting up in laboratories, smashing and splitting atoms for the nuclear weapons. That's the waster that was created to destroy. So the instruments of war, sword and shield, that was again created for the various wars throughout history. Every war was predetermined by the Heavenly Father. That's part of his works throughout history. Well, this is going to be a war, a strange work that the people have never seen, a nuclear war. Nobody swinging sword and shield, firing weaponry. It's going to be a war of pushing buttons. Who can push it first? So again, behold, I've created the smith that blow up the coals in the fire, that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. He hath also created the waster to destroy. The nuclear missile, that's the instrument created for the Lord's work, his strange work. So Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 16. Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 16. For the ungodly that deny to know thee were scourged by the strength of thine arm. Have you got that? Your arm and your hand represent your works. Let's continue. Were they persecuted that they could not avoid? with strange rains, hail, I done messed this up. For the ungodly that denied to know thee were scourged by the strength of thine arm. And that arm, the hand of the Lord, that represent his works. You work with your hands. All right. So they were persecuted and scourged with strange rains, hails, and showers. Were they persecuted that they could not avoid? And through the fire were they consumed. So yeah, the instrument of work, the nuclear missiles, that's for the strange works of the Lord. This nuclear war, that's going to be a strange act done by the people. That's going to bring what? The strange rains, the strange hails, the strange showers. That's a shower of nuclear missiles. Rain that brings forth fire. And when you look at a missile, it's shaped like a raindrop. When the raindrop hit the ground, it splashes. Well, when these nuclear missiles hit the ground, it's going to be an explosion. Well, that splash from a raindrop, that's a miniature explosion. So yeah, the Lord created the instruments for his work, but he's also created the instruments for his strange work. The nuclear destruction, that's going to bring forth these strange rains. You know, from Wisdom of Solomon 16:16. Now I done messed it up. Let me read it all the way through. For the ungodly that denied to know thee, Esau and the 2/3 of our people were scourged by the strength of thine arm, with strange rains, hails, and showers. Were they persecuted that they could not avoid, and through the fire were they consumed. They're not going to escape. So the Lord is going to top off the pot of you people with the nuclear destruction, because there's going to be people that somehow is because of the Lord, that be preserved through the sword, famine, and pestilence. So when all that's said and done, you know, they're going to step out thinking they made it. That's going to contribute to their pride, right? While they hollering, jumping up and down, and celebrating, they're going to see the nuclear missiles overhead. Hey, so nobody that walk in pride going to escape. And you surviving day to day, the sword, pestilence, and famine, you're not escaping. The Lord is saving you for a greater judgment. He may be allowing you to see firsthand his strange work and his strange acts. The nuclear destruction of America. Zephaniah 1:18. Because here, Wisdom of Solomon 16:16, it says, by these strange rains, hails, and showers, were they persecuted that they could not avoid. You're not going to be able to avoid this. There's no escape. So let's get the book of Zephaniah 1:18 real quick. Zephaniah 1:18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. The whole land gonna be devoured. You're not gonna be able to avoid this. There's no escape. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. The Lord gonna quickly get rid of this place. A whole landmass, a whole country being destroyed in under an hour. That's something the Lord never seen before. That's a strange work, the strange acts of YAHAWASHI, something the world has never seen before. Even in the ancient world, they never seen a destruction by fire to the magnitude we about to see. And it ain't gonna just be America. China, Russia, Europe, hey, most of the world gonna be devoured by fire. All right, so we're gonna close out with Isaiah 13. Isaiah 13, because remember, Ezekiel 21:15, it said the sword to be made bright, that every man's heart shall faint. Well, when these nuclear sirens go off, whether you hear it or not, you're gonna see the missiles overhead. Thousands and thousands and thousands of missiles gonna be seen. And that's gonna cause everybody's hearts to melt. So Isaiah 13:6, how ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. So yeah, men created the nuclear missiles, but the Lord created the men who worked on those nuclear missiles. which those who saw the movie Oppenheimer, roughly paraphrasing, they said that having the technology and the knowledge to develop nuclear missiles was a divine power. So that shows you that they understood that they didn't acquire that knowledge on their own. You know, that the Lord was working on their minds to develop those weapons of mass destruction. And that would be for his work, for what? His work, his strange work, and his strange acts. Hey, and with those strange acts, the strange rains, the nuclear destruction, is going to come a strange salvation. And so that's going to be a strange act of the Lord. They're going to have to come and do something they've never done before. The Lord coming with tens of thousands of his saints on those 20,000 plus chariots to deliver the Lord's people firsthand. We actually going up on a chariot. We not just following it through the wilderness. That's that strange salvation, the strange act of the Lord, something they never seen before. Verse 7, therefore shall all hands be faint. Every man's heart shall melt. So yeah, every man's heart shall melt. That's spiritual and literal. When people hear the nuclear siren, see the nuclear missiles overhead, their heart's gonna melt. That's like your heart dropping to your stomach. You know, you about to run into a semi, you swerve out the way last minute, that's your heart melting. Well, that's literal too, because the hearts of the people are going to literally melt from that nuclear fire. When you read, I think, Zechariah 14, when it says that their eyes shall consume away in their holes, their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Well, yeah, your heart gonna literally melt from these strange rains, the nuclear destruction. And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another, their faces shall be as flames. So yeah, so the nuclear destruction, that's the strange work of the Lord to bring about his strange acts, that strange salvation. So yeah, everybody keep that same level of energy that they walking with right now when the Lord gets to work. You know, coming up against his word, coming up against his believers, walking with pride, thinking you above other people, that you on a certain level. Keep that same walk in the famine and in the blackout and when the sword is let loose throughout the streets of America. Hey, because we sick of the people, so is the Lord. The Lord gonna fix that with his mighty works, the plagues that's gonna bring about the great miseries to cure the pride of you people. Because again, pride is a mental illness. Pride is a plague of the mind. Just like cancer is fueled by sugar, the pride that the people walk in is fueled by their money, their looks, the things they've accumulated in life. So you can starve a cancer by pulling back the sugar. Well, the Lord gonna fix the pride of you people by pulling back everything that contributes to your pride. Hey, so that's it for today's live lesson. We're gonna close out. Call halal Yahawah, Bahashim Yahawashah, Bahashim Rakakwadash. All right, we'll be back tomorrow, Lord willing. Till next time, Shalom.